job roles in IT networking. What kind of job roles you guys can get as a, suppose if you learn IT networking. So you can see there is a network specialist, network technician, network administrator. So there are a lot of job roles, okay, or job designations. So maybe when you start your career, maybe you're going to get a job as a network engineer. Maybe some guys are going to get a job like maybe a VoIP engineer, or maybe data center engineer, or telecom engineer. So first of all, you need to start your career, and maybe the job role is going to be different. Okay, but yes, most of you are going to get either network engineer or maybe network security engineer. Most of you are going to get technical support engineer, because technical support engineer also sometimes is the job role in IT networking. बहुत सारे networking के job roles हैं, और कोई भी job role हो सकता है आपका after any when you get into IT networking. So maybe as a fresher, you are going to get a job as a network engineer. Maybe after some experience, you are going to become a network specialist, and maybe network administrator, network solution architect. Okay. And so networking is a big field. Like many companies are looking for engineers to configure router switches. Some engineers configure firewalls. Some engineers configure IP phones. Some engineer configure the wireless network. Some engineers are configuring networking in cloud. Okay, so networking is a big domain. Real world, maybe you have 50 kind of jobs in IT networking, like network automation engineer. Okay, so there are a lot of roles. What knowledge you should have, but if I recommend you, like if you want to get job in IT networking as a fresher, okay, or if you want to shift your job. Okay, so you can see we should have good knowledge on these topics like TCP. So TCP, UDP, okay, and OSI model, MAC address, subnetting, TCP, DNS, ping, trace route, DHCP, telnet. So all these topic, if you see, all these topics are related to IT networking. And if you have good knowledge on firewall, or maybe little bit of Linux, okay, quality of service. Okay, so these are some of the important topics if you want to get into IT networking. So in IT, there are different type of roles. System and infrastructure department. There is a network and security department in the company, and there is a software development vertical. So who all are system and infrastructure engineers? So any guys like big data engineer, cloud engineers, data analyst, database admin, site engineer, system engineer, DevOps engineer, all fall under this system infrastructure category. Okay, so but what you all have to learn if you want to get into system and infrastructure, maybe guys are going to learn a lot of Red Hat programs. Like, so this Red Hat is a Linux. So you learn about Red Hat, you learn about virtualization, you learn about Linux courses and advanced courses like certified Kubernetes and all. Okay, Docker, Kubernetes and all, Oracle, AWS, Azure. So this is where the companies, the engineers are going to manage the servers. Okay, so when you are going to build the infrastructure inside the servers, you do not configure router, switches, firewall. So these kind of jobs are called system engineers, or system and infrastructure engineers, kind of cloud engineers also, kind of, because cloud engineer is just a general term. So then we have network and security. You guys can become normal network engineer, or network NOC job. What is NOC? Like NOC is called Network Operation Center. So you are going to manage the company network from these big screens. So in India, Airtel office and all. So you will be going to see that Airtel has big offices, and where the engineers are managing or monitoring the company networks. But yes, maybe you will not get to monitor these networks as a beginner. Okay, so means this area is for maybe for advanced engineers. Okay, so for big companies like if you get into AT&T, which is a US company, and if you check their NOC, which is very big, like I think world biggest network operation center is from AT&T, okay, which is headquarters in US. Okay, so this is called network operation center. Same like NOC stand for network operation center, and that's why. And you have a security operation center also, means here we monitor the company network, and there is a security operation center where we monitor the company attacks. Okay, is there anyone who is try to attack my company network or try to attack my like bank server or something? So any security, whether it is physical security or whether it is a software kind of vulnerability, cyber security and all, so these type of thing are called SOC. So SOC, there are a lot of tools in the market or tools and softwares. Okay, so in security operations center, maybe you need to learn QRadar. There is a software from IBM which is called QRadar. Okay, so these are some of the examples I'm giving you here. Maybe some of don't know anything right now what I'm talking, but as a security operation engineer, these are some of the tools. तो ऐसे कुछ सॉफ्टवेयर होते हैं जिससे आप मॉनिटर करते हो कंपनी में एज अ सिक्योरिटी ऑपरेशन सेंटर इंजीनियर. ओके, सॉक इंजीनियर. सो these skills you need to develop as a SOC engineer. So you can see security tools like MDR, EDR, DLP, investigation, okay, SOAR platform and all. So this is what you have to learn. Okay, so if you want to get these kind of jobs like SOC jobs or NOC jobs, you might have to learn certified ethical hacking, CCNA, CSSP. So some courses are there to become a cyber security or network engineer. So currently we are going to talk about like network and security is like combination now in the companies. Means if you are a network engineer and if you are a cyber security engineer, so there is high chance that you are going to work under one department. Okay, that is network and security department. And there is a system and infrastructure department where cloud engineers, DevOps engineers, all these engineers are going to work under system and infrastructure engineers. I have created a roadmap here. Okay, so what is this roadmap, that how you will start your career? Okay, तो काफी लोग start करते हैं CCNA or maybe they start from very advanced programs. Okay, but they don't know exactly where to go. So this is network fundamental. So how you can prepare for network fundamentals? So you can go to our YouTube channel. Okay, just type here network fundamentals. So you can see here day 1 introduction networking course, and there are like 2, 3, 5, 7 videos, and I think so you can watch from YouTube. Okay, there is a 6 hours course here also, computer network fundamentals. You can watch this also. Okay, so once you complete the network fundamentals, so once you have basic knowledge of network fundamental, you can do self study of network fundamental. तो आप इसकी आप self study कर सकते हो. So but after network fundamentals you have to go for CCNA. So don't worry, this is not the end. This is the start of your network engineer career. CCNA बहुत basic course है. In after CCNA, you have to go for CCNP. And trust me, most of the freshers also learning CCNA and CCNP. Because nowadays CCNA is just a normal course. And if you are very serious about making career in networking, then at least you have to go for CCNA, CCNP. This is my recommendation. Okay. So CCNA can also help you to get a job, but most of students who just complete CCNA, they always complain that I'm not getting too many calls, I'm not getting selected and all. And maybe you will get less salary also if you just stick to CCNA. So if you are happy with maybe very basic salary, okay, then it's fine. CCNA is also definitely good certification. But if you are serious that you really want to get into networking properly, then CCNA, CCNP. So what is the CCNA, which is Cisco Certified Network Associate? CCNA is a first level, which is an exam. You can become a certified guy also. So if you have done your degree in IT, so this is the international certification. So once you complete the course, you have to give this exam, and the exam cost is little high. So in India, it's around 20 to 25,000. So around $350. Because if you give this exam, you will be going to get this international certificate. CCNA is a basic program. After that, you have CCNP. Okay, so CCNP full form is Cisco Certified Network Professional. So this is a professional level course, and definitely you will see a lot of jobs opportunity in big companies once you complete CCNP. So do not just join CCNP for training. Okay, if you guys can afford, definitely go and complete CCNP certification also. Okay, so you will be definitely going to see a good hike in your company. Okay, so maybe you are going to get good salaries in next company. Okay, but yes, you should be having a certificate which will prove that you have knowledge. But without knowledge, if you are getting certificates, okay, then that is going to be piece of paper only. So this after CCNA, CCNP, go into advanced program. Like we recommend people to get into Palo Alto kind of. This is a firewall. Okay, so you can learn any firewall. Okay, I would recommend like people to go for Palo Alto, which is definitely a good firewall, and it's easy for you to understand. So if you really want to become network engineer, okay, as a beginner also, I would highly recommend you to cover these three programs within 6 to 7 months. Okay, so once you complete this, apply for jobs, and definitely you are going to get a job. Then I still recommend you to go for CCNA, CCNP and any firewall. कोई भी firewall आप पढ़ सकते हो, but I recommend Palo Alto firewall. So Palo Alto is a good firewall. It's a device where you are going to configure this type of firewall for to configure in the companies to secure your company network. And in the companies like Palo Alto firewall is deployed, so you will be able to understand the company network properly. Okay, so why firewall is important? So you can see currently in the market what is going on. Like you have branch office 1, branch office 2, like Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, or more different locations. So how you are going to connect all the locations together? That you are going to connect all the locations with VPN tunnels, and normally all VPN tunnels are configured on firewall. Okay, routers are also capable, but in industry we mostly use a firewalls. Okay, so these are the firewalls in the market. Okay, if you really want to know, so CCNA CCNP में क्या होता है? So in CCNA CCNP you are going to configure Cisco router and switches. Okay, so these are Cisco devices, so which you are going to configure. That is not only devices you need to configure in companies. You need to configure firewalls also. ठीक है, तो राउटर स्विचेस तो करोगे ही करोगे, बट यू नीड टू कॉन्फ़िगर फायरवॉल्स एंड लिटिल बिट ऑफ वायरलेस नेटवर्क. सो मींस companies are looking for guys who have like multiple devices knowledge. What is the role of network engineer? So first, the network engineer should able to configure routers, should able to configure switches, firewalls, and if they are good at wireless, then this is a plus point. तो ये चार चीजें, okay, these four things are important, then definitely you will be stable into this job role, which is network engineer. Okay, so CCNA, CCNP firewall will help you to get stable into IT networking. And later on, like there are advanced programs which you will be able to learn, like SD-WAN or load balancer, and slowly you guys can learn cloud, and then you can become a cloud network engineer, which is in demand, and then cloud security engineer. But freshers can't become cloud network engineers directly. If fresher is thinking that I want to become a cloud network engineer in future, then he is thinking right. Okay, but if you are planning right now that I am looking for a job as a cloud network engineer, so first of all, let me tell you, cloud network engineers jobs are for experienced people. Okay, so not for freshers. If you want to get into high paid jobs, suppose you become a cloud engineer or anything, but if you want to get into big like dream companies, okay, so what you all have to add in your career? Dream companies are like AWS, Google, whatever. So you can learn about Python for network engineers. Okay, so this is extra knowledge you have to get. Okay, with the AWS, you are going to learn so Python for network engineers. Okay, so once you, and this is how you guys can go into dream companies. Okay, if you do not learn programming, what is network automation, still you can become a cloud network engineer, but maybe not in big companies. Okay, so this is why I recommend you all to go for like after CCNA, CCNP, firewall, maybe you learn SD-WAN and all, then cloud, then Python, then you can apply jobs in these kind of companies. Many people just randomly putting YouTube videos that there is no demand of network engineers, or maybe is the end of network engineers. So weird. I think the people who never worked as a network engineers are creating those videos. ओके तो मैंने कई वीडियोस देखे हैं जिनमें लिखा हुआ है लोगों ने कि भी फ्यूचर है या नहीं है नेटवर्क इंजीनियर का. क्यों नहीं है? हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू run internet in the companies, how you are going to use Wi-Fi networks, how you are going to protect your companies with the firewalls, how you are going to do that. Because if you are saying कि सब कुछ क्लाउड में जा रहा है, all the services, tell me, do you think all their laptops are also moving to cloud? No, they still bring laptop in the company. Just imagine, तो अगर आपकी कंपनी में इंजीनियर आ रहे हैं, सपोज यू वर्क फॉर एनी कंपनी, there are going to be like 100-200 employees in your company. They all have laptops, right? So all these laptops, definitely they are going to connect with Wi-Fi or maybe with the Ethernet cable. So they need devices, they are called switches. So now tell me, if everything is moving to cloud, do you think all the employees are going to move? No. All these laptops are going to connect still with the switches. And tell me, do you think they will be able to access internet without router? No. Still, we need router in the companies, right? Okay, maybe you do not need firewall because you do not have servers. So when you need firewall, when you have company servers, in this case, you are going to have security kind of firewall devices. So this is a firewall. So in this case, you will have firewall and you will be going to get connection from internet. Okay, so this is internet. You get connection. Okay, you put it in firewall, then maybe firewall forward to router, and then these servers are also connected with the switches. Okay, so sometimes this firewall is after the router also. Okay, so this is all the design what you understand in CCNA, CCNP, firewall. Okay, so I'm just telling you कि ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता है कि कंपनी सबको बोले कि ऑफिस ही मत आओ. Okay, no company is going to, like many big companies, they said work from home, but now they are again asking people or employees to come back office again, right? So it means there will be still bright future for network engineers. Okay, like you are going to protect the company servers in cloud also, because in cloud also you can deploy a Palo Alto firewall. तो आप cloud के अंदर भी ये firewall deploy कर सकते हैं. Okay, so if you have good knowledge and you have cloud knowledge, then you are going to connect your office and you are going to connect with AWS, and this device which is the firewall Palo Alto, they are going to connect your office with the Palo Alto and also maybe with your data center. So still firewalls are going to be used inside the cloud also. ठीक है, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि डिमांड चला जाएगा या कुछ हो जाएगा. Either people who are creating those videos, they do not have full knowledge. Okay, so you should always check their authenticity. They worked for good companies. If they have good knowledge, do not follow anyone blindly. Networking, cloud, cybersecurity will never end. Okay, so at least for 20-30 years, if we move to Mars, we get any different type of technology, or but still I don't feel like networking will ever come down. Maybe new skills you have to learn. Okay, I always give one example. Like there is a software in accounts that is called Tally. Many of the accountants, they have to learn Tally, and this is why like all the accountants today, they should have Tally knowledge. Tally is just a accounts software. So in India, if you want to become an accountant after BCom and all, maybe you need to learn Tally. So now Tally is not killing the jobs. Tally ने क्या करा है, बस अब accountant को Tally आना चाहिए. The same way, network engineers are safe, but in future they need to learn some automation so that network engineers with automation will be hired in future. Okay, right now network engineers are safe, but now they have to learn Tally to survive in the companies, to get a job. The same way in future, just network engineers want to upgrade in automation kind of things, like a little bit of programming. Okay, it's not too much programming. Software engineer जो सीखता है ना, 10% of what software engineer do, You that type of coding you have to learn, not more than that. If coders have 100% knowledge, so just remember maybe you have to learn just 10% of coding. This is what is going to happen in future. Okay, network engineers, they just have to learn coding little bit. That's called Python for network engineers, this thing. But still, if you don't learn for next 3 years, you guys are safe. बट many कंपनीज आर मूविंग टू ऑटोमेशन. देखो यही चीज है कि अगर मार्केट में हाइप आता है ना, सो लाइक देयर इज अ वेरी बिग हाइप इन ऑफ क्लाउड फ्रॉम लास्ट 2-3 years. हर कोई क्लाउड सीख रहा है. एवरीवन इज लर्निंग क्लाउड. फ्रेशर्स आर ज्वाइनिंग AWS बैचेस, Azure बैचेस. इट्स डेफिनेटली गुड थिंग, बट यू कांट जस्ट इफ फ्रेशर लर्न AWS. अगर कोई फ्रेशर AWS कर रहा है तो उसको जॉब नहीं मिलने वाली. क्लाउड इज अ प्लेटफॉर्म, नॉट अ स्किल. सो दीज नेटवर्किंग, Linux, okay, so these are skills. Okay, so this is the roadmap. These 3 programs are amazing. Like if you learn CCNA, CCNP, Palo Alto, then definitely you are going to become a network engineer.